Yeah, like for us or for me, jazz is less a style. It's more like a, how to say, like a attitude or like a state of mind. Jazz means for me like being curious, improvising. Jazz has to do something with groove. Jazz is something which is vivid, which is reflecting what's going on right now. So, and somehow jazz kind of lost it for a while. Jazz started to be something like classical music, which is more like a museum for something what happened in the past. And I think for me a very, very important aspect in jazz is like being curious about what is happening right now, and also being curious in doing fusions about like between jazz and actual styles. This is actually what jazz always used to do. I mean, jazz is already a fusion. Like when the first bands called their music jazz, it was a fusion between African music and European instruments, and so jazz always included all the how to say, the actual streams in music. It was always immediately reflected in the music. So, and now it's the time like for electronic music. Are very interested to use electronic elements in the music, so I thought actually there should be a festival in Berlin which is putting like the focus on that kind of crossover. And also like the eastern part of Berlin is full of clubs, full of like world famous clubs like Berghain, Watergate, all these electronic places. So we had the idea like to bring all this together and make a jazz festival in these clubs, in these electronic clubs, and like a kind of like a showcase festival of what is going on in Berlin. And somehow we opened the right door and it became super big immediately. And now I think we are the biggest jazz festival in Berlin and one of the top 5 in Germany, which is quite impressive also for us. We didn't really like it. It wasn't the intention to become so big, but it happened, and now we have to handle it. There's actually a big parallel between electronic music, electronic dance music, and minimal music. I mean, electronic music usually consists of like 4, 5, 6 elements, and then on different layers, and then they're combined endless, and which creates a certain aesthetic. So I think it's extremely interesting to combine these two styles on a festival and see how close they are nowadays. I think the two capitals of electronic music is Detroit and Berlin. You know, like techno came from Detroit, but a lot of, I would say, minimal techno, which isn't so. Minimal techno also was played maybe 15 years ago already, but it's still played in the clubs, and all these famous clubs like Berghain, Watergate. Most of the music is minimal techno, house techno. It's really hard to say. I think now it's more like becoming diverse. Before it was the jazz musicians moving towards the electronic music, being curious, and now it's the other way around. Now like all these famous DJs like Hendrik Schwarz or David August or Johannes Brecht, they start to play like with small ensembles or include a live drummer and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on, and for me this is maybe the most interesting stream right now. Like our approach of combining this electronic music and jazz is really addressing a young crowd, and which brings this kind of like energy back, which I think is important for jazz. You know, like when Miles Davis was playing in the 60s in New York, that was the latest, that was the hippest stuff. You know, like all the hip people went there, and it kind of like jazz kind of lost that how to say, like this that kind of attitude, but now like combining it with electronic music, I kind of feel the same attitude again.